When your students are working at different levels, two-digit subtraction without regrouping can be a challenge, and it can feel overwhelming. The strategy I'm going to talk about today is a flexible strategy, and it provides differentiation for your students. Hi, I'm Cheryl, and I help primary math teachers help their students stay on task and learning. When you're solving two-digit subtraction without regrouping, and using a number line, you can start in small groups to show your groups different ways to jump. And we'll talk about that more in a second. Let's start with 58 minus 32. I need to start with an open number line. The open number line for subtraction is different than addition because you put the starting number on the right-hand side instead of the left. Now you're ready to take away 32. So you want to break apart 32 into 30 and 2 to help you know what jumps to make. I can start by subtracting a group of 10. 58 minus 10 is 48, but I still have more 10s to subtract. I'm going to subtract another 10. 48 minus 10 equals 38. Then I need to do one more group of 10 to get to the 30 total. 38 minus 10 is 28. I've subtracted 10, 20, 30. So I have subtracted the 30. Now I'm ready to subtract my two ones. Minus 1, 28 minus 1 is 27. Subtract one more. 27 minus 1 is 26. I have subtracted my two ones. 58 minus 32 is 26. When teaching this strategy, you can teach them the airplane analogy. An airplane has to take off and know where it's landing before it can take off again. So I use that for the number line because an airplane would take off at 58. It would subtract 10, so that's where it's going, and then it has to know where it has landed before I can go to the next one. So I make sure the students write down the landing before it takes off to the next destination. This strategy is helpful for differentiation because you can show students different groups of numbers to subtract on the number line. Let's look at one more way. So I would start with my open number line, and I would start with putting 58 here. But instead of subtracting three groups of 10, I might subtract one group of 30 and say 58 minus 30. And that equals 28. Then I can subtract my 2 as a group of 2 instead of two groups of 1. Subtract 2. 28 minus 2 is 26. Some students are ready to show bigger jumps. Some students might need to stick with the 10s and 1s. That's why if you're working in small groups, you can provide that differentiation for your students. Let's look at an example of a worksheet I would give to my students after I know that they are ready to show their work independently. This worksheet starts with an example, and it's the one that we just did, and it reminds the students to make jumps of 10s and 1s. It gives them space to show their jumps and show where they're landing, and it gives them a box to write their answer. You can use this worksheet to help your students practice independently after they have worked with you on subtracting numbers on a number line. Thanks for watching today. You can help your students build confidence by subtracting on a number line using the number line strategy. Make sure you like and subscribe so you know when the next strategy will be out. Have a wonderful day. Bye.